Namaste. I'm Izichi Ade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Today I'd like to discuss the three modes of Kotodama. So, we understand that a Kotodama is words, or at least sounds, and a certain intention which causes spiritual change. Now, when we say spiritual change, we don't mean something mysterious like spirit. What does that mean? What we mean, or I should say I want to interpret the meaning of spirit in our context, is always following particle theory in saying air molecules, H2O, take up a certain mass because of the size of the particles and the space that they occupy. What we mean when we refer to spirit, we refer to etheric particles, particles of energy, masses, packets of energy. But we could say that these packets, as they are much finer than their larger atomic consolidations, they are what make up atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons. They are much finer particles. So when we say the realm of spirit, we are speaking of the ethereal plane. We are speaking of high, very fine, I should say, particles. Particles so small that by modern technology, we cannot see them, but we can prove that they are there. We have proven this several times in pranic healing, organite. We have proven through chi that these particles do exist and can be manipulated by the realm of thought. So, then we speak of the material plane. The material plane is the realm of action. We must fight to survive. We must breathe. We must eat. We must drink. All these actions must take place, and they must take place in a certain sequence for us to live and to survive. Too much water and you will drown. Not enough, and you will be dehydrated and you will still die. So everything must be in its balanced measure. So if we were to consider a Kotodama a chain of sounds and actions that are written down for us to recite, to chant, to pray, then we could expect from our own thoughts, our intentions, we cause action on a different plane. We cause action in the etheric plane. Okay? So we can move particles with our minds that are too fine to be observed by modern science. However, we can prove that this does occur. So, when we pray, we have an intention, okay? So, the power of the prayer is the words that you choose. You can't just say any arbitrary words. It must be words that state your intention. So, you write these words down. This is the first step in the Kotodama. When it is written, then it has power. Now, many would equate this power, this type of power, to magic and other arts that use this same technique. And it is exactly the same. We simply are calling it Kotodama for the sake of our discussion, for a common ground of understanding. So, it is written. You say the prayer mentally. This does have power. However, although thought can create matter, in this case, since we want the power to be magnified because we need it on the material plane, we must say the prayer out loud, loudly. Move the air molecules and state the intention aloud. Now, you have seen me perform Tai Chi. You have seen me perform Qigong. Why would we make these movements, these specific movements? There are many Tai Chi forms. 5 basic forms: Chen, Yang. There are 2 Sun, and there are 2 Wu styles. So, these movements are not just physical exercise. They are movements, geometric movements, that not only occur in the 3rd dimension, the physical plane that we live in, but remember, we also operate on the etheric plane. So, by our intention, as we are performing these movements, we are moving energy in the etheric plane. So, this plane, the etheric plane, is a plane of causality. This is an element of the quantum field. It allows us to consider energy, and we may manipulate that energy. So, we clasp our hands together over our heart. We may put our hands up. We may kneel on the floor. There are different prayer postures. Just as there are postures in yoga, there are prayer postures. These postures, or groups of postures, movements, if you will. For instance, the Amatsu no Rito, performed at its full power, requires a beginning of 3 claps, 3 bows. There are certain statements that are repeated. Other statements are only said once. Then there is a space for your own personal, more direct intention. Why? Because the movements of the prayer and the Kotodama sounds of the prayer cause, in the etheric plane, an opening into the divine levels of the spiritual realm. So likewise, other prayers, Buddhist prayers, Jewish, Hebrew prayers, create a movement of energy in the etheric plane, a plane of causality. So, when we write down our prayer, consider it, thinking about this prayer, the words of the prayer, what they mean. We speak the prayer. Now, when we speak the prayer, it is not an arbitrary sound or pitch, musical note that we use when performing the prayer. It is this song, this arrangement of pitches, varied pitches, and how they are pronounced that causes even greater movement in the etheric plane. So to say, I can write a Kotodama, it's possible, but it may take some time for me to understand or to receive the knowledge to do so. So I use the Kotodama that I know to create a specific type of spiritual power. Do you know a Kotodama that you use for spiritual power? I would like to hear the prayers that you use. Please subscribe to this channel. Make sure you ring the notification bell so that you know when new videos are uploaded. By all means, like and share this video. It helps the channel. And I appreciate all of my supporters and those who have questions and who've left very beautiful comments. Thank you for your participation in this Divine Light program. Thank you for helping to create paradise on earth. I'm Ezechi Ade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Namaste.